In the heart-stopping sport of extreme mountaineering, triumph and tragedy often walk hand in hand. The jagged peaks of Cerro Torre in Patagonia, known for their unforgiving nature, claimed yet another victim in a harrowing incident that unfolded with heart-wrenching speed. In a quest for summit glory, 41-year-old Italian mountaineer Corrado Corrapesci met his untimely demise, entangled in a deadly dance with the treacherous mountain. Having teamed up with Argentine mountaineer Tomás Aguiló, their ascent took a catastrophic turn when an avalanche of rocks and ice cascaded down, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Who were these two mountaineers? What events unfolded as they trod the path between life and death? Join us as we decode the Redbull tragedy at Cerro Torre Mountain. Unlike other storied alpine ranges, the challenges of Patagonia have nothing to do with altitude. Nowhere on Mount Everest or K2, not even on their hardest routes, nor on any of the alpine ice routes in the Alps, will you find such sustained vertical climbing as on Cerro Torre's easiest route. Kelly Cordes, the Tower. Cerro Torre is part of the southern Patagonian ice field and stands at an elevation of 3,128 meters. This granite spire is renowned for its stunning needle-like shape, with a distinctive mushroom-like formation at its summit. The mountain is often shrouded in swirling clouds, adding an air of mystery and allure to its already dramatic presence. Cerro Torre is surrounded by glaciers, including the famous Torre Glacier, which contributes to its formidable and icy terrain. Climbers contend with high winds, sudden storms, and fluctuating temperatures that add an element of unpredictability to the ascent. The technical difficulty of Cerro Torre is renowned, featuring steep faces, overhangs, and mixed ice and rock sections, demanding advanced climbing skills. The rapidly forming and melting ice cap at the summit further intensifies the complexity of ascents, requiring climbers to navigate delicate and ever-changing ice features. Climbing Cerro Torre requires a commitment to long expeditions, often involving multiple days on the mountain. Mountaineers must carry specialized technical gear, including ice axes, crampons, and protective clothing, to navigate the varied terrain safely. On that fateful Tuesday, January 25, 2022, at 11:30 a.m., the air was crisp as Della Bordella, de Giacomo, and David Bacci embarked on a daring ascent up the east face of Cerro Torre. Following the historic route blazed by Cesare Maestri and Tony Egger in 1959, they pressed on through the triangular snowfield, conquering each pitch until they reached the dilapidated refuge known as the English Box, a once sturdy sanctuary now reduced to a skeletal frame with only a few crumpled metal sheets remaining. Its former promise of shelter was a mere illusion in the face of the mountain's relentless fury. The trio erected their portaledge for the night, suspended in the unforgiving heights. As they ascended, their gaze caught Tomás Aguiló and Corrado Pesci diligently fixing ropes on the first pitches of their route, a mere 150 meters from Della Bordella's group. The day unfolded, and Aguiló and Pesci retreated to their tent, the mountain's ominous silence serving as a serene backdrop to the impending tragedy. Wednesday, January 26th, brought both progress and hardship for Della Bordella, Bacci, and de Giacomo as they navigated the challenging British Diedre route. The day's climb featured precarious pitches where the face overhung without respite, leaving no room for even the slightest ledge. Their portalage hovered over the void. Meanwhile, Pesce and Aguiló advanced on their chosen path, halting their ascent to bivouac on a ledge just 50 meters to the right of the now decrepit English Box. On January 27th, the paths of these climbers converged on the north face of Cerro Torre. With only 300 meters separating them from the towering summit, the decision to unite forces for the final stretch was made. Pesce assumed the lead, followed by Aguiló and the three Italians in tow. At 5 p.m., they stood together atop the majestic peak, the culmination of their collective efforts. A mere half-hour later, joyous congratulations echoed through the thin mountain air as both groups savored the triumph. However, the summit's celebratory atmosphere was short-lived. In the moments that followed, the destiny of these climbers took a tragic turn as their paths diverged, leaving only memories etched in the unforgiving stone of Cerro Torre. As the sun set on that tragic Friday, January 28th, the decisions made in the mountains would cast a long shadow over the fate of two climbing parties, Corrado Pesce and Tomas Aguilo, their triumphant summit celebration still lingering in the crisp mountain air, opted to descend via the treacherous north face. Meanwhile, Della Bordella, Bacci, and Desaya Como, blissfully unaware of the unfolding tragedy, chose to spend the night atop Cerro Torre, preparing for their descent along the southeast ridge, the infamous compressor route. On the descent in the dark, Pesce and Aguilo navigated the north face, eventually reaching the spot where they had left their sleeping bags and bivy gear. Deciding to rest, little did they know that these fleeting moments of respite would be shattered by an avalanche of ice and rocks. The deafening force of nature struck with ruthless precision, leaving Aguilo severely injured and Pesce paralyzed from head to toe. In stark contrast, Della Bordella's group, beginning their descent down the compressor route on the morning of January 28th, were oblivious to the unfolding tragedy. By 5 p.m., exhaustion had pushed them to the limits of their strength as they reached the glacier at the base of Cerro Torre. The mountain, unforgiving and relentless, had claimed its toll on the climbers. As Tomas Aguilo descended alone, his SOS echoing silently through the jagged peaks, the weight of tragedy unfolded on Cerro Torre. Most of their essential gear lost, Aguilo embarked on a perilous rappel down the steep wall, driven by the urgent need for help. Retrieving their inReach buried in the snow, he sent out a desperate call for rescue. Kif Al-Koksher, an American climber in the Niponino base camp, caught wind of the accident without knowing the specifics. Guided by the glimmer of an SOS signal from a headlamp high on the mountain, a group of 10, including Al-Koksher and German alpinist Thomas Huber, hiked 2 hours to the glacier's base to investigate. The unfolding scene revealed Aguilo's slow descent to a triangular snowfield, still a daunting 1,000 feet above the glacier. By the time Della Bordella's team completed their exhaustive 30 rappels down the southeast ridge, they joined forces with Al-Koksher and the rescue party at the base of the wall. The grim news of the accident unfolded, prompting Della Bordella to utilize his drone to pinpoint Aguilo's precarious location on the wall. Inspired by a sense of duty, Della Bordella, alongside Huber, Roger Shaley, and Roberto Tro, embarked on a daring rescue mission. Climbing 7 pitches of the Maestri route in just 3 hours, they traversed to reach Aguilo and the snowfield. The resilience of the rescuers was evident as they braved treacherous conditions, battling run-out 5.11 slab climbs with precarious gear. Midnight marked the beginning of the descent for Tro and Huber, with the injured Aguilo. Della Bordella and Shaley, steadfast in their commitment, remained on the wall despite an impending storm and dwindling resources. The descent from the triangular snowfield commenced at 3 a.m., a bitter acknowledgement that further efforts to rescue Pesce were beyond their physical and psychological limits. Della Bordella acknowledged, "It's a bitter decision, but unfortunately, we're way past our physical and psychological limits. We realize that Pesce will remain on that mountain forever." As Aguilo's rescue unfolded, approximately 15 climbers grappled with the nightmarish task of navigating a stretcher down the steep and heavily crevassed glacier. Another 30-odd rescuers waited at the glacier's bottom, orchestrating a seamless transition as an Argentinian Army helicopter carried Aguilo to the hospital in Calafate, where he faced a challenging recovery from a punctured lung, broken clavicle, and ribs. Despite relentless efforts, the drone's search for Pesce proved futile, and any further attempts were thwarted by the mounting storm. Carolina Coto, head of Argentina's El Chaltén Alpine Rescue Center, delivered a somber assessment. "Corrado, Pesce can no longer be alive." The drone's images revealed the tragic reality. Pesce's lifeless body sliding 50 meters below the platform, where he spent his final night. Without adequate protection, the unforgiving elements had claimed him, succumbing to the cold grip of hypothermia within hours. The mountain, stoic and silent, held the echoes of a climber's final ascent. The elite climbers Eneko and Iker Po shed light on the harsh realities of responding to emergencies in the mountains of El Chaltén. Time, they say, is a fleeting ally in these remote heights, where weather windows are brief and close abruptly, leaving little room for reaction. The Pooh brothers emphasize the inherent challenges faced by potential rescuers on these daunting peaks. Exhaustion from their own demanding climbs is a constant companion, making the already intricate task akin to threading needles. The vertical walls, formidable and unyielding, pose an additional challenge, rendering helicopters incapable of reaching climbers in need. Eneko Pooh articulates the scarcity of practical routes for rescuers, often compelling them to embark on perilous climbs to reach those in distress. These endeavors, he notes, involve navigating routes where only a select few have succeeded, a testament to the inherent danger that pervades these icy landscapes. Yet when emergencies unfold, a collective mobilization ensues. Argentine rescuers, the ever-crucial Army helicopter, and fellow climbers in Patagonia unite in a shared effort. Everyone strives to assist, to defy the mountain's stoic demeanor. Despite this collective determination, the heartbreaking reality surfaces. Corrado Pesci's injuries proved too severe, the mountain too unyielding, reminding those involved of the inherent risks woven into the fabric of these towering peaks. Cora embodied the essence of true alpinism, unyielding, undaunted, and uniquely elite. His passion for the mountains was not just a pursuit, it was a way of life that defined him. In the tapestry of his climbing resume, the routes he didn't conquer seemed to pale in comparison to the myriad summits he claimed. Some of his most daring exploits remained shrouded in mystery, as he silently soloed when companions were absent and conditions were irresistibly favorable. Climbing, an incessant rhythm in his existence, resonated from the flatlands of Novara to the heights of Chamonix, the grandeur of the Himalayas, and the challenges of Patagonia. For Corrado Hardcore Pesci, technical alpinism was more than a pursuit. It demanded his total concentration, experience, and unwavering commitment. It was a refreshing departure from the artificial trappings of valley life, a return to a clear truth that only the mountains could offer. In these lofty realms, Cora found not just a playground, but a thriving existence. Born in Novara, west of Milan, in northern Italy, Cora hailed from a place not renowned for breeding alpinists. Yet from a young age, his fervor for mountains burned bright. A cherished book chronicling the world's greatest peaks became his initial guide, its pages etched into his memory like a sacred scripture. As the eldest sibling in his father's second marriage, he initiated his younger sister into the world of climbing during their missions to the corn silos in the surrounding area. Cora's journey into the mountains unfolded as he worked in the Margarita hut on Mount Rose and the Torino hut in the Mont Blanc range. These seasonal sojourns laid the foundation for his ascent into the heart of alpine terrain. Eventually, Chamonix, the birthplace of alpinism, became his chosen haven. Nestled in the embrace of an alpine playground, Chamonix was more than a residence. It was where Cora truly felt at home, a place where every ascent was a testament to his passion, his skill, and his unwavering connection to the mountains. Cora's ascent in the realm of climbing was nothing short of meteoric. Balancing his pursuits, he worked at Snell Sports, not just as a means of financial support, but as a stepping stone toward his relentless pursuit of challenging alpinism. This trajectory led him to the guide's exams, where he seamlessly transitioned into the role of an alpine guide through the prestigious French Guide School. It wasn't driven by the allure of financial gain, rather, Cora was drawn to the lifestyle, the essence of a connection to the mountains that fueled his passion. Chamex, the guiding service where Cora devoted his skills, became more than a workplace. It was a canvas for his selfless contributions to the guide family. Despite being one of Chamonix's elite alpinists, Cora remained grounded in the simplicity and authenticity of alpinism. Whether it was last-minute bookings, stepping in for a sick or injured guide, attending guide meetings, or providing valuable contributions to the service's website, Cora's commitment was unwavering. His passion extended beyond personal pursuits to the clients of Chamex. A day spent with him on the Cosmiques Ridge or atop Mont Blanc transcended the ordinary. His genuine connection with the team made him a perfect fit, and his selfless dedication to clients mirrored his approach to climbing. Sincere, genuine, and deeply rooted in the essence of the mountains. As his free time expanded, Cora's climbing endeavors reached new heights. His boundless energy manifested in countless hours spent studying routes in the Ensa Library, meticulously analyzing conditions on both local and remote mountains, and scaling peaks at every opportunity. Cora became a revered reference for visiting climbers seeking guidance, whether it was deciphering the nuances of a route, understanding its current conditions, or providing intricate details about every aspect from approach to descent. Cora's wealth of knowledge was unparalleled. Even if he hadn't personally climbed a route, his meticulous research and detailed memory made him an invaluable resource for hard men and women embarking on their alpine pursuits in Chamonix. Cora's climbing legacy etched its everlasting mark across the alpine canvas, a testament to his unwavering commitment to technical, committing alpinism. Scaling the north face of the Grande Jorasses, conquering new mixed lines on Chamonix's granite spires, and eventually extending his prowess globally, Cora was a maestro of the mountains. His passion for climbing was a flame that burned pure and bright, fueled by a critical eye for authenticity in an arena where reputations often eclipsed real accomplishment. With 15 routes conquered on the Grande Jorasses' north face, he became a silent judge of chotos, alpinists whose grand reputations lacked substance in the face of genuine achievement. Cora, however, remained uninterested in the recognition that success typically bestowed. He seldom spoke of his destinations, revealing even less about his past endeavors. A nod of acknowledgement from a fellow alpinist held more value to him than any orchestrated accolade. In a world where many sought the spotlight, Cora's approach was a refreshing deviation. He let the climbing community, sponsors, and media find him, attesting to his authenticity as the real deal. His passion traversed continents, leading him year after year to the formidable landscapes of Patagonia. Tragically, Cerro Torre, a distinguished summit in his revered book of the world's greatest mountains, became the stage for his final ascent. Opening a new route on the east and north face, Cora met his untimely end on the very canvas he had painted with his alpine pursuits. In the quiet and reserved corners of his life, Cora maintained a close circle of friends who understood the depth of his character. He leaves behind a legacy survived by his parents, Ruggiero Pesce and Adelia Barbero, his 7 brothers and sisters, and most profoundly, by his daughter Leia, a testament to the love that ran deep within him. Cora was a really fantastic guy. On ice and alpine walls, he was one of the best in the world and a very discreet and humble person. The north faces of the Grande Jorasses were his second home. I don't know how many times he climbed there. He was the one we called to ask for beta. It is a very big blow to alpinism. Kilian Jornet. We had 2 parallel dreams, 2 new routes on Cerro Torre, running elegantly and directly on the east face and then on the north face. You, Pesci, were an alpinist, all facts and no smoke. In the roller coaster of emotions that has hit me these days, there only remains deep sadness for the loss of one of the world's best alpinists and a friend I admired, Matteo della Bordella. As the mountains mourn the loss of a true alpinist, Cora's spirit lives on in the soaring peaks he once called home.